Welcome back. It's 9:35 right now, 19 degrees. We're looking at Daily Plaza there in Chicago. You see that front end loader just kind of pushing the snow around. That's what they've been dealing with, and us as well. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Brad Harvey. I tell you, it gives you just an idea of the scope of this thing. We have seen live pictures from New York all the way back to Chicago and everywhere in between. All of us digging out of a mess here today.
Okay, we do have live team coverage for you, as we have done since 4:30 this morning. We do want to kick it off, though, with Storm Track 11 meteorologist Chris Vickers. Show us exactly what's happening.
Yeah, guys, right in between New York and Chicago, we find ourselves here in Toledo, and this is exactly what we're seeing outside right now. Another round of snow actually taking place across northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. This light snow will add up to a couple inches through the day today, and one thing we're going to be concerned about is the wind speeds as we go into the afternoon. Really not too bad right now. Northwest winds at 6 miles per hour, but they've made that shift in their direction to northwest, and they will continue to sort of kick up into the afternoon, putting our wind chill down around 11 degrees. Now, as we look at Storm Track 11 Doppler radar, we have several areas, especially west of I-75, that have seen steady snow now for the past about 2 to 3 hours. So we've probably already seen about an inch or two across Defiance County, Henry County, and up into Williams County, and they could expect another inch or two even on top of that. Visibilities are one thing we look at when we're talking about snow. We're down to half a mile in Lima, less than a mile in Defiance, and most other areas down to about 2 miles or less. That indicating that light snow that is occurring across the area. So for today, areas of snow going to continue. We're talking 1 to 3 inches of an additional accumulation. Now, blowing and drifting has been a problem since this storm kind of moved into the area yesterday, and we still have reports of some secondary roads and county roads that are closed due to this, due to some of that blowing and drifting snow. That hazardous travel probably going to continue through the rest of the day today and into tonight. Now, just look at how massive this storm is. We were talking about Chicago, still seeing the trailing edge of that blizzard, now all the way up the eastern seaboard through New York City and up the coast of Maine and stretching all the way down to the panhandle of Florida. They saw some showers and thunderstorms down there. So basically taking up the eastern half of the country. We're starting to see those snow showers continue to fill in across northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. They will be with us a good part of the day today, sort of just a steady light snow. Now, our hour-by-hour forecast will continue to see at least some of these flakes flying till about 5 p.m. this evening. Overnight tonight, that storm system will push off the east coast, and we should see conditions dramatically improve tonight and into tomorrow as high pressure works in. Should bring a good return to some sunshine. For today, 21 degrees, snow basically going to be the remainder of the afternoon as we go through the morning and afternoon. Blowing snow also going to be a problem. We'll look for a low around 6 tonight, and the rest of the 7-day forecast will be prepared for the cold Thursday and into Friday with highs in the teens and lower 20s. So it's definitely turning colder outside. So why not send meteorologist Mike Stone out there? He's going to check things out there. Mike, you definitely noticed a little bit of a chill and also some light snow. Watch out for that plow behind you.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is a scene we finally captured on live television of the city crews coming by. They've been doing this fairly regularly, but with the blowing and drifting, it keeps covering the road. So we've been having problems with that. One other thing of note is some areas got the wet snow yesterday and then some sleet and freezing rain on top of it. And now with the temperatures, this snow is really that light, fluffy, powdery stuff that gets blown around a lot. But if you haven't treated anything outside, you're going to have this slippery snow on top of ice and then a pack of snow underneath. Now, the snow is coming down at an okay rate. It's not very heavy, but this will start to pick up a little bit, as Chris mentioned, over the coming hours. You can see down here, we're at the corner of Summit and Cherry. There's a little bit of traffic outside, not your typical morning thanks to the emergency level, but we have a little bit of traffic downtown and the roads are okay. Let's go back inside and get a check on your Control Live from Traffic Tracker with Tina and see what else is going on in the rest of the area.
Thanks so much, Mike. Well, I just got off the phone with the Toledo police, and they said there is still just one problem. 475 eastbound at Central, there is a car having some trouble, and because it is a level 3 snow emergency over there, that person should not be on the road. So because something is wrong, they are liable to get a ticket. So just be prepared for something like that if you do plan on traveling at all today. Let's go ahead and show you a live look outside on the highways. This is our live SkyTrack 11 BGSU cam, the view over in Bowling Green. It is snowing down there, so be careful if you're driving through Wood County. Brad?
It all, doesn't it?
It is so pretty, but it is so dangerous if you do have to drive. Roads all across the area very, very dangerous this morning. Just want to remind you, as a result, Seneca, Lucas, Ottawa, Sandusky counties all now under level 3 snow emergency.
Now that means roads are closed and only emergency personnel should be out. Wood, Hancock, Fulton, Henry, Huron, Defiance, Putnam, and Williams counties are all under level 2 snow emergencies. That means you should only be out if it's absolutely necessary.
So let's go ahead and take you out to one of those counties on a level 3 snow emergency. That is Sandusky County. And joining us live on the phone right now is Sheriff Kyle Overmeyer. Sheriff, very glad that you could take the time to join us here this morning. Just give us an update on how things are looking right now in your county.
Well, thank you. Good morning, Brad and Lauren.
Good morning to you. And I know obviously you are still right now under a level 3 there.
We are absolutely, and what's going on right now in Sandusky County, we do have additional accumulation and blowing continuing, which I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it is, and it's probably going to keep things slippery and the road's still snow covered and drifting, unfortunately.
You know, we'd like to think that people have been heeding the warnings and not getting out on the roads. Is that kind of consistent with what you've been seeing, or are you seeing people out on the roads?
You know, there are a few people, but for the most part, it's nice that the community is listening, that it is a snow level 3, and they need to stay off, and only emergency vehicles should be out at this time.
Sheriff, for those folks that maybe do not heed those warnings, is it a situation where basically they can get a ticket after the fact if they do wind up in some sort of a problem, wind up in a ditch or so forth? That's where the problem is, or are you literally pulling people over if you see them out there?
We don't have the manpower to be out there pulling people over, but the number one thing is the safety. And like I said, it's most important for them to listen to us and stay off the road. I understand if they have to get to work or get to some kind of appointment that is an emergency, yes. But if they're out there for no reason at all, we won't hesitate to give somebody a ticket.
Okay, Sheriff Kyle Overmeyer, thank you so much for your time this morning.
All right, you know, the sleet, the freezing rain have been causing major problems for the people south of Toledo here, just like our team of weather experts told us this would happen here.
We have teams all across the area, and Tim Miller, part of the crew that's down in Findlay. You spent the night last night in Findlay, and I can just see, based on the snow that's collecting on your hat, my friend, it is a snowy one down there.
Yeah, it really is, guys. Still some rough weather down here. Yeah, you can really see that heavy snow even sticking on my jacket here. It's been falling for about 3 to 3.5 hours right now. So that's probably complicating things for drivers who already had to make it through the ice storm that hit here overnight. Now take a look. This is some video of what it looked like when the sun rose this morning and we finally got some light on things. At least drivers could kind of see what they were going over. Freezing rain and sleet were the big story yesterday and into the early morning hours, but as we mentioned, snow is now the issue. But the Findlay area, though, has only about 9 power outages. That's pretty remarkable considering they were really worried about what the ice was going to do to the power lines. Now, the lack, really, of any power problems could partly be due because of a program that the power company, American Electric Power, instituted last year.
AEP came through this summer and cut all the trees back. So that should help us a lot, I think, hopefully, on any of our outages. Most of the areas, all the trees are been cut and all the lines are pretty much open.
Now, if you have to drive on Interstate 75 here in Hancock County, it is open, but be very careful. There are a lot of slick spots. Live in Findlay, Tim Miller, WTOL 11.
All right, Tim, slick spots all over. One of the other real major issues here over the course of this time, there's just so much snow out there. The plows have been plowing it, but it's been piling up, and then at some point we've got to get rid of it.
Where do you put it, right? Well, Joe Stahl is live in downtown Toledo right now checking out those roads and no doubt on pile patrol. What have you found, Joe?
Look at this pile of snow here right at Jackson and Superior Streets, right out in front of the Toledo Blade. The snow is almost up to the street lights, and they're not just using plows, you guys. Look, they are using front end loaders like this one, piling it up, trying to get it out of here, and then getting it inside of some of these dump trucks and hauling it out. We are talking tons and tons of snow out here and at intersections all around. That's what we're seeing in downtown Toledo. So for those drivers who are out here, even though it's a level 3 snow emergency still for Lucas County, Toledo Police have some of these areas kind of blocked off to make sure that you don't run into one of these giant snow piles. But the city, we've got TARDA over here. They're trying to get their areas all cleared off. So once this level 3 does get lifted, people will be able to maneuver these streets with ease. But as you can see, these piles are definitely growing out here. Reporting live from downtown Toledo, Joe Stahl, WTOL 11.
All right, Joe, and again, keep in mind, you're going to see a lot of that heavy equipment out there as they're trying to get this snow just out of the way. That's another issue you got to deal with. About a quarter away from 10 right now. Still to come on WTOL 11 your morning. Just take it easy out there today.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you just stay home? You continue to watch our coverage until 10 o'clock here this morning. We'll be back. Welcome back. It's 9:47 right now, 19 degrees. We're looking live through our tower cam there. I tell you, this snow just won't stop.
No, it's continuing to come down. As a matter of fact, continuing to come down sideways, as you can see. And we'll update you on exactly what is the latest on that with our meteorologist coming up in just a couple of minutes here.
More businesses, of course, are shutting their doors today because of this weather.
Yeah, right now, let's get to Dan Bumpus live with more on all of the closings out there. Dan, what are we looking at?
Well, guys, I know a lot of folks are probably going to get cabin fever at some point today and kind of want to venture out and want to do some of the activities that we know and love here in the area. But got a list here of what's closed today, and a lot of these on the list, you're going to say, well, I guess I can check that one off my list of potential places today. Westfield Franklin Park Mall is now closed for the entire day. Just got word on that one. The mall is shut down for the day. Levis Commons over in Perrysburg remains closed until noon at this point. Imagination Station closed today. Toledo Museum of Art also closed, as is the Toledo Zoo. Have an update for you as well on the shops at Fallen Timbers. We're told those shops going to open up at noon today, the stores there. However, Dillard's is operating under normal business hours. In fact, Dillard's going to be opening up in just a few minutes, or about 10 o'clock. Dillard's will open, but the mall itself will be closed until noon today. Also, want to give you just kind of one other bit of advice here. This is for the kids, because I know a lot of kids are going to want to venture out and do some sledding. There was actually an accident up in southeastern Michigan, up in Mount Clemens area. 3 kids were sledding, but they were sledding too near a street. Ended up actually getting hit by a car, did these 3 young kids. The good news, only minor injuries, but that goes to show you if the kids are heading out, especially some advice here for parents, just make sure you kind of know where they're going, because you end up down the hill and next thing you know you're in the way of oncoming traffic. So of course you don't want to do that around any streets or that sort of thing. So there you go. That's the latest from the newsroom, guys. We'll send it back into you.
All right. Talking about the ODOT snowplow drivers, I know they've been out there all over the place, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, and in between shifts, trucks come into their garage to switch out drivers and also have some maintenance done. Well, this truck here had one of its blades broken while out in it this morning.
Yeah, they had to put on a brand new blade. They had to oil it up before they could send the truck back out for another really long drive. These ODOT trucks will typically get about 200 miles on them just during a 12-hour shift.
And you, our viewers, have been keeping us really informed about the conditions really in your neighborhood, on your street, where you live through this winter blast. Yeah. Lowell Hemrick from Bryan sent us this video of the scene at the Meadow Creek Apartments just off State Route 34.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Lowell reported numerous vehicles that were stuck in the roads from overnight. But that's just what we want to see. We've been talking about See It, Snap It, Send It. We always talk about pics at WTOL.com. Did you know, just like Lowell did, you can actually send us some of your home video as well. And that's so critically important.
And you see the blowing snow. That's what our meteorologists have been talking a lot about.
Helps us so much being able to look real time and see exactly what it's like all over the region through your eyes. Still to come on WTOL 11 your morning, another look at that, the traffic and weather here.
Plus, we're going to check out what things are like in your neighborhood. It's 9:51 almost this morning, 19 degrees, looking live through our Mobile Track 11 unit. And welcome back this morning, 9:53 right now. Want to update you, if you have classes at the University of Toledo today, they have been canceled. Originally, classes were supposed to begin at noon. No more. They're canceled today. So there you go.
Absolutely. We've been talking about what a critical element you are as part of our coverage of this winter blast. Let's get over to WTOL.com. Producer Lisa Strawbridge, I know you've been chatting live right now with some of the folks out there. What kind of things are you hearing? Well, one of the things we're not hearing, actually, is Lisa this morning. So we'll try to check back in and get some of your comments. But again, Facebook, Twitter, all of those different things. And of course, our web chat, we want to hear from you and see what you have to say here this
Pics
morning.
at WTOL.com. If you have something that you can show us, that would be really great. But of course, the big news this morning is the weather. So we do want to check in with Storm Track 11 meteorologist Chris Vickers this morning for that.
Yeah, guys, we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast here because everybody wants to know when we're going to dig out of this deep winter freeze and a winter storm. We got good news as soon as we get beyond today because, of course, today we're going to be dealing with that light snow blowing, so it's going to be pretty much a brutal day all day long. But look, as we go into Thursday and Friday, we're going to have high pressure come in. It's going to be cold, no doubt about that, but 14 degrees for your Thursday. Watch out Friday morning, 1 below, and for Friday afternoon, temperatures up into the lower 20s. Then as we head towards the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we track our next chance of snow into the area. We're going to have more WTOL 11 Your Day and this extended coverage when we come back. Thanks, Mike.
So it's 9:57 right now. We've been on the air for you since 4:30 this morning, bringing you continuing coverage of this winter weather.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it is kind of interesting. It is continuing coverage, and it continues past this point. Of course, we're going to be back with you at noon coming up in just a couple of hours, have another major update for you. And again, this afternoon, one of the important things to remember is Robert's going to be here this afternoon.
Mike Stone, too, as well. It's going to be hanging around. Everyone's done a great job kind of coming together to get people through this, so we're happy to do it.
Yeah, even some of our city leaders have come together to help us through this. We had a kind of fun moment earlier with Toledo's top man.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Joe Stahl was out there a little bit ago. Check out this report that Joe Stahl had live here on the air this morning.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us out here. Good luck finishing up. I know he's wrapping up with his shoveling out here and heading into the office, but everyone's got to, do their part, get out there and I guess get some snowball fights going here because BG and UT alum, I got the mayor good there on live television. He's probably going to hold that one to me now for years to come. All right, well, reporting live here from West Toledo, Joe Stahl, WTOL.
So there it was, throwing the snowballs back and forth with the mayor of the city of Toledo. Not the best idea.
Okay, have a great one, everybody. Of course, we're always on WTOL.com.